Hey guys, what's going on? Derek Cam here with Borrower Brigade, your friendly local mortgage broker. Today I got a special episode where I'm going to be covering two listings of two of my good friends and partners, local real estate agents, Melvi Gallardo and Melita Carrera. Both of these homes are their personal listings. And listen, I want to jump in. I want to show you guys what payments look like. FHA, conventional, investment loans, kind of cash you need to buy these homes, and better yet, what kind of income do you need to qualify for these loans, and rental income to qualify for the investment ones. So let's jump in. Let's go over Melvi's property first, which is 1520 North Thompson Drive in Bay Shore, New York. Here's the listing. Nice 5-bedroom, 2-bath. Great for those families of 4, 5. Once again, Melvi's information is going to be here listed in the video. Definitely reach out to her. She's a phenomenal agent. And yeah, let's jump into my presentation I prepared for this listing. So first thing we want to discuss here is FHA. I did numbers based on a 680 minimum credit score. So obviously if you have a higher score, we could be looking at better numbers. If you got a lower score, numbers could be complemented there a little bit. But this is kind of like a median scenario here. Your average FHA home buyer is somewhere in the wheelhouse of this credit score, right? So first things first, let's jump in, let's look. Purchase price, $625. Recent price reduction, that means sellers looking to do business here, right? They want to get that prices right for you, the buyer. Very important to know. Sorry, Melvi, I'm giving away your hand there. We see the loan amount, $613, $679. So what you'll notice is this is 3.5% down. So when you do the math, you're going to see, okay, why is my loan amount higher than what the difference is, right? And that's because with FHA loans, you have a 1.75% upfront mortgage insurance that most of the time gets financed, right? You as a buyer could pay out of pocket for that, but you know, I think I've only seen that once in the history of my career, and I've been doing this, 20 years. So that's where our loan amount lands after 3.5% down, okay? As of today, April 23rd, I am able to lock you in at 5.75% on a 30-year fixed FHA, paying no points, okay? Your APR, you're looking at 6.6. That's even with paying no points. Because of the upfront mortgage insurance, that's why your APR is a little higher. 30-year fixed. Here's our all-in estimated payment, $5,141.69. We're gonna take a look at what's comprised in that payment on the next screen. Your estimated cash to close is $43,592. Once again, this cash to close is your 3.5% down payment and your estimated closing costs. Okay, so that's the all-in number. What this number does not include is your attorney fee. The bank's attorney is included in here. Your attorney fee is not included in here. Home inspection, surveys, things like that, I don't require as a lender. Most lenders don't require that, but that'll be separate expenses, okay, that you're gonna need, right, in the deal. Now, if we click on more info, we could take a look at first the payment breakdown on FHA. So we can focus on these items here. So P&I first, $3,581. This is fixed for 30 years, okay? So if you never to sell, never to refinance with me down the road, and you to stay in this mortgage for the life of the loan, that payment right here, $35.81 is not changing. It's gonna stay the same, okay? Property taxes and hazard insurance, otherwise known as homeowners insurance, are numbers I'm using off of Melvi's Zillow listing. But once again, this could be subject to change, right? Melvi could be getting certain information that's different later, right? Your homeowners insurance, you're gonna shop around for that, try to get a better deal, or maybe not as good of a deal, and that could be subject to change. The mortgage insurance is not subject to change. So that's based on a formula, and that is gonna be 0.55% times the loan amount divided by 12. Okay, and that's where this payment comes up here. All FHA loans have a MIP, a mortgage insurance premium that you pay monthly, regardless of down payment. So for instance, with conventional, if you put down 20% or more, you don't have PMI. right? But with FHA, no matter what you put down, you're going to have that monthly expense, unfortunately, okay? Only way to get rid of that too is if you refinance or sell the property. So this is how we come up with our payment here of $51.41. Now for the $1 million question. So buyers, if you're wondering what does it take to actually qualify for this, how much income do I need? The answer is around $131,000, give or take. So if you personally don't have that income, it's a combination of the collective, right? Husband, wife, brother, sister, aunt, uncle. Together combined, you want to have somewhere in the wheelhouse of $131,000. Now, once again, if your credit score is high, or your credit score is low, or if you have more debt than usual, these things are going to move the needle up or down, where you may or may not need as much, or you might need much more. Very important, okay? But that's give or take where you're going to be at for affordability and qualifying for this particular property. Okay, let's jump back into conventional and let's talk about that. This is probably the next most popular program in America for those people who have saved their money, never missed a payment, have excellent credit, and the world's their oyster, and now they want the best deal they possibly can get. They can get qualified at any bank, so forth and so forth, right? So as of today, the best rate I can come up with is 5.99. If you have excellent credit, close to 800 credit scores, you see the APR is much less here than it is for FHA. That's due to you not having to pay an upfront mortgage insurance of 1.75%. All-in payment, $42.78. This is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. It's important to note that with putting 20% down, you as a buyer have the option that FHA buyers don't have, is to pay your taxes and insurance separately, okay? So not only will this lower your closing costs, you will only see the principal and interest payment due monthly on your monthly mortgage statement with your bank, all right? We'll take a look at that in a second. Obviously now, cash to close way more than it was for FHA, okay? And this is the reason you're putting 20% down versus 3.5% down. This estimate of 142 and change includes the same thing, the 20% plus your estimated closing costs. Let's jump into more info and take a look at the payment breakdown. So obviously principal and interest, much less than it is for FHA. Once again, the way I have this deal structured here, guys, is this is what you're paying monthly, okay? Just under $3,000, the $29,994 with the bank every month, all right? Your taxes and your insurance, you'll be paying that separately, okay? Now, if you want as buyers to include that into your payment, that's a very simple push of a button solution there for you. I know most buyers that put 20% down like to have that option to pay it separately, but once again, it's up to you as the buyer if you want to include that or not in your payment, okay? Very, very simple. Doesn't change the rate, doesn't change the terms. All-in payment, you're looking at around $42.78, okay? So that's soup to nuts there. Obviously, you got no PMI, which is great, okay? To qualify for this particular payment, you're gonna wanna have around $104,000 a year in income, whether it's you or the collective, right? 104 is where you're gonna be at in order to qualify for this loan, okay? Now let's jump into the third program, which is DSCR loans, okay? These are investment property loans for investors who are not showing tax returns. This is one of the biggest and hottest programs right now in the country for investors that don't want to show their tax returns or can't show their tax returns and want to qualify for a mortgage, and they have the money and they have the credit. The loan is not based off pay stubs and W-2s and tax returns. It's based off market rent, okay? So if we take a look here, the payment is estimated at $4,568. As you can see here, the purchase price $625, loan amount's $500,000, so we're putting 20% down to get to this payment. Now, the rule is the market rent needs to be equal to this or higher on the majority of DSCR loans, right? There's other nuances there where it can be give or take by a couple of basis points, but for the most part, it has to be equal to or more. As long as it is, no tax returns needed, you could do 20% down. Now, for whatever which reason, if the market rent is less than $45.68, you as the buyer, even though 20% is allowed, you will need to put more than 20% down to get your payment down to where the market rent is for the loan to actually debt service. Okay, so it's very, very important. And if that's the case, then you're good to go. All right. Your all-in cash to close is around $152,000. So once again, that's the down payment of 20% and your estimated closing costs. If we click on more info and we come here to closing costs, what you will notice is with DSCR loans, they do get a little bit more expensive than your FHA and conventional loans. Whereas me, for instance, I'm a wholesale broker. Sometimes with certain rates, they're not paying us our commission from the bank, so we need to pass that charge on to you. My charge is 2% for these loans, and that's why I have this $10,000 built in here, okay? Now, obviously, if we were in a situation where we could take a higher rate than 6.875, if you were okay with, say, taking 7.25%, 7.5%, and that payment was actually debt servicing, then we could do something where we remove this $10,000 because now the bank is paying my company its commission, okay? So obviously that's a needle we can move if the needle can move. The Long Island market is very competitive. The values of homes, as you're aware of, are much higher than other markets. So that's why I have this baked in here just to set expectations so you can see exactly realistically what it needs, what you need to make the deal work, okay? Well, guys, let's now hop into see Melita Carrera, okay? Love you, Melita, from RV Realty. We're gonna take a look at her listing and go over the same workflow that I just showed you from Melvy's. Let's look at affordability. Let's look at how much you need in income for her listing, all right? So let's jump right in and take a look at 46 Anna Road in Bay Shore, New York. Melita has this property listed at $685,000, okay? Very nice home. Bay Shore is a great area. Nice, spacious, high ranch. Once again, here's Melita's information. We will have that in the video, and she will also be copied on here if you want to reach out to her directly. And without further ado, let's jump right in. So, same workflow here. $685 purchase price, $672, that's 3.5% down with the upfront mortgage insurance. At 5.75, we're looking at all in $5,512 and an estimated cash to close of $45,000 and change. Now, what do we need to qualify for this payment? You're gonna be looking at needing around $141,000 in income. So like I said before, Melvy's listing, whether it's you alone or a collective group of people, co-signers, right? Mom, dad, sister, aunt, uncle, all together, you're gonna be somewhere in that wheelhouse. The needle can move up or down depending on factors like what's your credit, what's your debt look like, okay? These are all things that as a lender, I go over with you in detail to show you what you need to do to move that needle in your advantage, all right? So let's jump back in and let's take a look at the conventional option, okay? So conventional, same thing, $685 purchase price, loan amount's going down now to $548, because we're putting 20% down. Same thing, 5.99 for you excellent credit score borrowers out there. And all-in payment here is $45.66. Like in the last example, I have this not including tax and insurance, and we'll take a look at that in a second. The $154,000, this is your all-in cash to close. What that doesn't include is your attorney, once again. It doesn't include home inspection, surveys, okay? We jump in, we look at more info, payment breakdown. So as you can see here, principal interest, $3,282. That amount is what you pay to your bank every month, and that is it based on the structure here, okay? We have property taxes, hazard insurance, like discussed earlier, and that's how we are coming up with this number, okay? Next program we're gonna look at is the DSCR loan, okay? And for DSCR, 685, costing 2 points. This is for somebody with a 720 credit score right now in the market, give or take in that arena. That's what you're looking at for this kind of program. No tax returns, no pay stubs, no W-2s, guys. Simply based on you having the money, somewhat the credit, and the market rent. That's the big thing. Is the market rent there? In this case here, the market rent needs to be somewhere around that $4,900 number and you're good to go. Obviously, if market rent's $4,500, $4,600, now suddenly we got to pull a bit more money down, right? This 165 estimated cash to close, that number's going to go up. Okay, so you always want to factor that in. You always want to have a little extra in reserve there in case the market rent is not in your favor and you really, really want the home for that particular program. All right. So hopefully you got some value out of this video, guys. Please drop comments below. Let me know if you like the content. Let me know if you want to see numbers on your particular home, your particular listing, or any further information from me, Derek Kim, your favorite lender. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.